In the twilight of the Roman Empire, around the year 320 AD, the eastern provinces trembled beneath the iron grip of Emperor Licinius. Across the empire, the faithful were hunted, their resolve tested by fire and sword. In the city of Sebaste, nestled in the cold heart of what is now Turkey, 40 warriors of the indomitable 12th Legion stood at the edge of eternity. Loyal soldiers of Rome, yet bound by a higher allegiance. They faced a choice no blade or shield could deflect: bow to the pagan gods of the empire, or meet the unrelenting grip of death. Their defiance was a spark in the darkness. Refusing to bow before the false gods, they ignited the fury of their commander. The punishment was as merciless as the winter itself, a death sentence of unimaginable cruelty. Stripped of armor and dignity, the 40 were cast out onto the frozen expanse of a glacial lake, the icy wind their only companion, the encroaching cold their final adversary. Even in the face of death, their faith blazed brighter than the icy winds. United in prayer, they sang hymns of praise that pierced the howling storm. Yet the trial was not without its cost. One soldier, his resolve faltering, stumbled toward the promise of warmth and life. But the flame of faith cannot be extinguished so easily. Witnessing the courage and solidarity of the 39 who remained, one of their captors was moved to an act of defiance against the empire. Stripping off his own armor, he stepped onto the ice, declaring himself a follower of Christ, and restored their number to 40. By the time the sun rose, the cold had claimed most of them. Those who still clung to life were met with execution, burned or beaten, their earthly bodies destroyed, but their spirit unbroken. Their sacrifice became a beacon, their story whispered in secret gatherings and proclaimed in defiance of tyranny. The ashes of their martyrdom, scattered yet sacred, would inspire countless generations. In 293 AD, Emperor Diocletian had divided the Roman Empire into East and West, each ruled by a senior emperor, Augustus, and a junior emperor, Caesar, creating a system of 4 rulers. This system, called the Tetrarchy, helped manage the vast empire. Later, Constantine and Licinius, both Augusti, clashed in a struggle for sole control of the empire. In the West, Christians were assured protection under Emperor Constantine, but a rivalry between Constantine and Licinius marked a pivotal moment in Roman and Christian history during the early 4th century. Initially allies, the two co-emperors issued the Edict of Milan in 313 AD, which legalized Christianity and granted religious tolerance throughout the empire. However, their alliance quickly deteriorated due to political ambitions, territorial disputes, and diverging religious policies. Constantine increasingly aligned with Christianity, portraying himself as a protector, while Licinius, ruling the eastern provinces, reverted to paganism and resumed persecuting Christians. Their rivalry culminated in 2 wars. The first in 316 AD ended with Constantine gaining significant territory, and the second in 324 AD decisively ended Licinius's reign. Constantine's victory at the Battle of Chrysopolis made him the sole ruler of the Roman Empire, uniting the previously divided East and West under his Christian-oriented leadership. Under Licinius, Christians were forced to publicly identify themselves. Christian gatherings were banned, and they were required to register their attendance at pagan ceremonies and declare loyalty to the emperor. Under earlier emperors like Decius, Romans had been required to carry certificates proving they had performed sacrifices, which effectively marked non-participants as Christians. This left Christians vulnerable to interrogation and persecution. With Licinius's defeat, the persecution of Christians in the East ended. Shortly thereafter, in 325 AD, the Council of Nicaea was convened to address doctrinal divisions within the Church, particularly the Arian controversy. However, an old scar had been reopened. Almost 80 years earlier, their church had faced a similar challenge. At the time, Emperor Decius had issued an edict requiring everyone to perform a public sacrifice to the Roman gods and the emperor as a demonstration of loyalty to the state. Citizens had to obtain a certificate called a libellus, proving they had made the sacrifice. Failure to do so was considered treason. With Decius's death at the Battle of Abritus against the Goths, Christians were freed from persecution. However, a new controversy arose. What was the status of those Christians who had betrayed the faith by complying with the emperor's demand to deny Christ? The events that followed marked a dark period in the history of the Church.